Hi YouTubers, welcome to Shop That Stash. My name is Amber and I uploaded this Shop That Stash video over the weekend, and once I got it up on YouTube it was crazy long. So I am breaking up into two parts. Part one, we're going to talk about 3 Maybelline quads, 2 of which are fairly new to the market. One has been a long standing in their permanent line. So this video will talk about Electric Blue, Emerald Smoke, and Designer Chocolates. So let's go on and get started. Okay, so the first quad we will be talking about from Maybelline is this beautiful one. Please pardon my nails, I have yet to do them. So I'm enjoying the time that I don't have my children so that I can film without distraction. But this first one we're going to talk about is this Electric Blue palette. If you have been lusting after the Urban Decay Electric palette, I would say get your hands on either this quad at the drugstore, or, you know, if you have the same dupes that I have at home, dupe it at home, because I have to admit buying a palette of more eccentric eyeshadows is not very wearable for me. But when I saw this, I couldn't help but think about how I would dupe this, because it is so on trend, and since bright colors are back on the market, like, we have to do it, absolutely have to do this and participate in this style trend. So what we've got here is a beautiful white. It's a matte white, a very matte black. If you have several palettes, I'm sure that you already have a matte black you can use at home. I will show you a couple of options. We have this very eccentric blue over here for a crease color. And I have to admit, there was a shadow that inspired me when I saw this, and I brought it home and it was a spot on match. So intense blue. And then this very pretty, it's a matte lilac, no shimmer in it. So I'm going to show you, I have 2 shadows that are fairly close, but I don't have a matte lilac shade like this. So I'm color referencing this palette as I dupe it with my own shadows that I already have. I'm going to be the only one that knows it when I wear it, so it doesn't really matter to me, but I'll show you things that are close enough of what I have. Okay, so to go on and get started with this beautiful matte white over here, I don't own another matte white shade. Most of the whites I have shimmer in them. So I pulled out my Lorac Pro Palette because when I need a matte white, I will use this matte white shade from the Lorac Pro. So it gets you back into your higher end palettes if you're not showing them enough love lately. So Lorac Pro's matte white, spot on dupe for Maybelline. Then if you want a shadow base for it, you can either bring out your Maybelline Color Tattoo in Too Cool. Mine's just about gone, so it's hard for me to show you. It's just a straight white. The other thing that I would bring out, if you want to wear that shade on your lid or as a highlight, because I use the Color Tattoos on my brow bone, my inner corner, because for glasses, I need to do a little bit more with my makeup to make my eyes show up. But you can also pull out your Maybelline Color Tattoo from the summer collection last year. Again, I will link below if you are interested in picking this up. I try to find sellers on Amazon that have these for like $7 or less, so they're more affordable. But this is in the shade Waves of White. It does have a duochrome finish, but I thought it would look very beautiful under that matte white shade, because again, I'm the only one that knows. So this I thought I would pull out and show some love because my Too Cool is on its way out the door. All right, now to go for this stunning purple lid shade, like I said, this one is very matte. I don't have a matte lilac shade. You have the option, if you have the Too Faced Romantic Eyes palette or the Too Faced Bonbons palette, you have a lavender lilac shade in there called Cut the Cake. But I thought it was too light compared to this. It's hard to pick this up. I thought it was too light compared to this lavender shade, but there is that option if you want it. What I would pair is a little bit darker, but again, I'm the only one that knows, so it doesn't really matter to me. But here's Cut the Cake from Too Faced Bonbons, or if you have the Too Faced Romantic Eyes palette. Okay? What I would pair in, if you have your Urban Decay Book of Shadows 4 palette, there is a gorgeous bluish purple in there called Blue Bus. I would pair that in for this shade. It looks darker in the pan, but when you apply it to your skin, it is very sheer. It's still darker than this lavender shade, but it can come out, you know, very similarly without being too crazy. So this is Blue Bust from Urban Decay Book of Shadows 4. What I would actually dupe it with, or what I will dupe it with, I have two other options for you. You can either use, I have an eyeshadow single from Urban Decay in Asphyxia. This is more of a blue pink tone than the lilac shade in here, or lavender shade. But again, if you're looking for options with what you already have, Asphyxia is a great option. So there's that. What I will dupe in for this shade is Urban Decay's 15th Anniversary Palette Color in Omen. It is a beautiful duochrome. Let me see if I can hold it where you can see it. It's a beautiful duochrome shadow in a bluish purple. It's very intense. I love the finish of this on my skin, so I will pair it in with this. All right, so this is Omen from your 15th Anniversary Palette if you own Urban Decay. Now, for shadow bases for this, I have several options for you. The first one that I would choose is Painted Purple. This is from the permanent line of the Maybelline Color Tattoos, so you can pick it up at any time from Walmart, Target, your grocery store, CVS, wherever. Or if you have the limited edition color tattoo in Lavish Lavender. I don't believe I pulled it out, but we have it. So Lavish Lavender, or since I don't show this Painted Purple enough love, I figured this would be the ideal time to bring it out and enjoy it. So it pairs really well under any of those purple shades that I showed you. Blue Bust, Omen, or Asphyxia. All right. Now, I bought this quad because of that crazy blue shade. And when I thought of it, I immediately thought of my Urban Decay Vice palette with that very eccentric blue called Chaos. Brought it home, spot on match. So, if you have your Urban Decay Vice palette, bring it out, because this gives you an opportunity to wear that crazy intense blue called Chaos. Okay? So there's that. And the shadow bases I would use for Chaos if you wear it on your lid, or you can use these color bases in your crease. I would pull out my Maybelline limited edition color tattoo in Blue on By. I believe this came out in the summer 2013 collection. I'll go on and look it up for you, but again, we have a crazy intense blue shadow. All right, perfect to go under Chaos. Or if you buy that Maybelline quad and you're looking for a reason to use these color tattoos, I would pull this out and show it some love. So this is Blue on By. Okay? Now, as far as that black, if you have any matte blacks, like if you own your Urban Decay Naked 2, you've got Blackout. There's Blackout in the 15th Anniversary palette. You have a matte black in your Lorac Pro palette. Yeah, there's just tons of options. I don't have a Maybelline Color Tattoo in black. I believe there is a new black shade in the matte collection. I don't know, I haven't picked it up. But I think I remember seeing a video where somebody had reviewed a Maybelline Color Tattoo in a matte black. So I would look and see if there's one, or you can use Makeup Forever, I believe, has one, and I believe Smashbox or Bobbi Brown have a cream shadow in black that I would check if you want a black base. Because the other thing you could do, if you have a black shadow base, put it on your lid, and then you could put this blue or the purple on top, and you'd have a really intense, like, if you go out for clubbing, or if you have like a really fancy like costume party or something like that. I have done looks where I've put a black base down before. Like I just use black eyeliner and I put it on my lid, and then I put a very vibrant shadow on top. It is absolutely incredible, the effect that you can get. So another suggestion and way to use brighter shadows like this in your routine. All right, so there we go with Electric Blue. So this next quad we're going to talk about is a beautiful new quad marketed for Maybelline called Emerald Smoke. And what we're dealing with here is very bright greens with olive and hints of like, this is a very greenish brown. I know it's going to look very brown on camera, but in person it is like intensely green. I immediately thought of a color from Urban Decay for this. And then we have this nice base shade. This is more green than brown. I know it's gonna look very brown, but it's olivey in person, so I will show you dupes that I thought were close enough. To get started with this base, in person, it looks very cream, but it's more green. Since I want to use my higher end shadows, I picked things that are a little bit more gold, but you could make them pair well either way. But the first thing I thought of is this beautiful shade from the Urban Decay 15th Anniversary palette called Vanilla. It's more yellow than this base shade, but on the skin, I think it actually looks prettier than this one. So this is what I would pair it in with. I mean, because this quad is going to look really stunning in the fall. I wouldn't wear it right now because it's intense olive, and I just don't wear olives in the springtime. But I actually preferred Urban Decay's Vanilla on the skin compared to this greenish cream, I guess you will. So there's that. Now for a shadow base, I would keep it simple and go with your Maybelline Color Tattoo and Barely Branded. I didn't have something that is just spot on with that cream shade, but I would go more of the natural look. So this is Barely Branded from your Maybelline Color Tattoo Metals collection, I believe. Yes. Okay. Now for this next green that they have opted for as a lid color, it's very, very olive. I don't have a straight olive because even in my previous Shop That Stash video with an olive duo, I kind of mixed other things in to get the olive finish, and this is more of an intense olive than that last eye duo in, oh, I can't even remember what it's called. I'll have to look it up again for you guys. Sunkissed Olive. This olive green I picked out. If you pair the eyeshadow with a color tattoo, you'll get a similar payoff to this. It's not spot on, but you'll get a similar one. The first thing I would pick out is from your Too Faced Romantic Eyes palette. There's a beautiful shade at the bottom called Honeymoon. It's more gold than anything, but it does have an olive tinge to it. So if you put it on top of, I put the bases under here to be Gold Shimmer. You can either use Gold Shimmer if you want more of the gold payoff with the green, because either way, if you do olive or if you do green, they are stunning together. But I figured Gold Shimmer Color Tattoo with Honeymoon from your Urban Decay, not Urban Decay, Too Faced Romantic Eyes palette, you'd get a beautiful bronzy gold for the fall. Or the other one that you could pair it with, if you want more of the olive tone, which is what I did for Sunkissed Olive as well, is bring out this Maybelline Color Tattoo in Mossy Green. This is a limited edition. I'll put an Amazon seller below if you don't have this. But if you pair Honeymoon on top of Mossy Green, you'll get more of a brownish olive, like the lid color from the quad. So this is what I will do, are these two colors together to get this more intense olive green down here, because it really isn't brown, it is olive. Okay, now for the gorgeous crease color we have here, it's not a Kelly green, but it's not like forest green. I mean, it's not quite forest green, but it's not Kelly green. It's this really beautiful shade right here. If you have your Urban Decay Book of Shadows 4, you have a beautiful shade in there called Bender. It is spot on, and I believe you can buy Bender as a single if you don't have it. So here's Urban Decay's Bender. Absolutely stunning. They have the exact same payoff. Like, these are the dupes for each other. If you want a dupe for Bender, then you can get this quad. Okay, so Bender. The color tattoo I would pair under that is the Maybelline Limited Edition Color Tattoo in Ready Set Green. Looks like so. And it actually goes on the skin a little bit brighter. I wore this with my Project Pan look last year, but if you put Bender back on top, it will be a more intense green. So Ready Set Green will be perfect for the fall with this Bender. Okay? And then for the crease color, again, why I picked up this quad, because I knew I could color reference it and it would give me a way to use this shadow that I don't show a lot of love at home, is this color right here. If you have Urban Decay Book of Shadows 4, you have a gorgeous color in there called Cobra. And I have to admit, I don't show Cobra a lot of love. These are spot on dupes for each other. It's a brownish green, very intense. It is hard to wear this color every day unless you wear in the fall, because it is very, very dark. It's way darker than Dark Horse if you have the Urban Decay Naked palette. I mean, it's intense. You have to commit to this color if you wear it. The glitter shimmer in both is a gold sparkle. Very, very intense. This is what it looks like in person. I mean, this is not something you would wear right now. You can wear it as a liner shadow, but if you're actually wearing it as an eyeshadow, because here's Urban Decay, here is the Maybelline. All right. This is perfect for the fall, but like I said, like when I saw it, I immediately thought of Cobra, and I was like, I know I can dupe the rest of the colors at home, but that Cobra shade, I was like, this is a way for me to show that eyeshadow some love. So here is Emerald Smoke. Next quad that we're going to talk about is the most wearable, I believe. I mean, you can wear it at any age. It's flattering on any eye color. The colors that are in this quad, it is the Maybelline Designer Chocolates. I love these colors. I've worn them for years and years and years. This palette has changed from what I loved wearing back in the day, because like this brown shade right here is more of a lighter cocoa. It used to be a very intense mahogany, and this pinker shade used to be a lot darker. I'm going to show you how I will dupe this at home with my higher end eyeshadow, because I want to get the investment I've already made. So for these colors, we have a really matte white cream shade. It's more white than it is cream, but it is a matte, very beautiful. I have multiple dupes you can use for that. For your lid color, we have this nice naked color, or you could use it as a transition color. We have this really beautiful pink to wear in your crease, or it's, well, I guess it's more of a burgundy, pinky burgundy. It's on the lighter side, and then this cocoa color. But in my opinion, very wearable. You can wear this any time of year. You can wear it with a nude lip, with a bold lip. I mean, just very, very versatile palette, and you can mix up the colors in this accordingly. So, to start off with our Maybelline quad with this very pretty beige shade, I have multiple options for you. If you have the Too Faced Naked Eyes palette, it is the taupier of their palettes, because they have the Natural Eyes, which is more gold. In the Naked Eye palette, there's this beautiful shade up here called In the Buff. It is a spot-on dupe for this cream shade. Okay, so In the Buff from Too Faced Naked Eye palette. It is, again, it's the more taupey. It has like Lap Dance, Satin Sheets, this beautiful matte black. So if you wanted to use that with Electric Smoke, or I mean Electric Blue, pardon me, not getting all the palettes mixed up, but this would be a beautiful matte black for that very first Electric Blue palette I showed you, if you want to dupe that in. And again, like if you have this palette, this is very, very wearable with the Designer Chocolates look as well, because you've got the matte browns and the tan and the cream. Okay, so there's the Naked Eye palette. The other thing that you can use is if you have the Too Faced Bonbons palette, you can pull out the color Linen. Again, very, very close, similar payoff on the skin. You're sticking with matte cream. So this is Vanilla from the Too Faced Bonbons palette. You can also pull out Midnight Cowgirl. Let me pull these out. Excuse me. You can pull out Midnight Cowgirl from your Book of Shadows 4. It's a little bit more shimmery than this color, but again, beautiful payoff on the skin. And with my glasses, I would use Midnight Cowgirl, because I can use this on my brow bone and my the inner part of my eye to brighten up that entire area. So it behooves me to use something with a little bit more shimmer instead of just doing a straight matte. So I would use Midnight Cowgirl, but I'm giving you those other options if you're a contact lens wearer, or if you want something more matte. Okay, there's Midnight Cowgirl from Book of Shadows 4. Now, as far as a shadow base, I would keep it simple and use Barely Branded or Barely Beige from Maybelline Color Tattoo, because if you use a white, I would use a white under my glasses because, again, I need to brighten up that area a little bit more. But if you're wearing contacts, Barely Beige or Barely Branded is perfect if you want to wear it on your lid. Then for this next shade, we've got this beautiful tan. I have a couple of options. I mean, you could use Naked from your Urban Decay Naked palette. It's darker than this, but again, if you want to use what you already have at home without having to go spend more money, I would sub in Naked. The other thing you can use is you can use the color Missionary from your Urban Decay Book of Shadows 4. It's a beautiful tan color. And again, I mean, it's more shimmery than this, and it's a little bit more champagne-y, but pretty close, spot on. They look beautiful when you pair all the 4 shadows together. So here's Missionary from Book of Shadows 4, if you have Urban Decay. Then I've also got, you can pull out your Lorac Pro Palette again and use the color Champagne, which is this beautiful taupey pinky brown down here. So Champagne from Lorac Pro. Okay, and again, if you use it as a lid color, Barely Beige, Barely Branded are ideal. Or you could even use Bad to the Bronze if you wanted it to be a little bit more intense. But I would go with Barely Beige or Barely Branded. Okay? Then, for this crease color. The crease color that they have now is too light from what I remember. If you want to go spot on with this, I would pick from Urban Decay Book of Shadows 3 in, I want to say this is Last Call or Bordello. I would mix in either. This is the lighter version of it, and both of the shadows come out of Book of Shadows 3. So if you have the Book of Shadows 3, you have both of these pinky burgundy colors. So you have the option, if you want a lighter version, you could pair in this one. It's either Last Call or it's Bordello, or you have this darker shade right here. I want to say this one is Last Call and this one is Bordello. Since I have depotted them, I have to look them up all the time and I don't have my computer on me. So Last Call, I believe, and Bordello. Either way, this is a beautiful option for this pinky shade. I would personally pair in the darker shade because the darker shade is more of what I remember the quad looking like when I wore it all the time. Okay, so there's those options. If you want a shadow base for that, it's a no-brainer. I would pull out the Maybelline Color Tattoo in Pomegranate Punk. Beautiful spot-on dupe under any of those shades. So if you buy the Maybelline quad or if you dupe in the Urban Decay, this is spot on perfect if you want to wear this on your lid or in your crease. Okay, so this is Pomegranate Punk. It's part of the permanent line. You can pick it up in any store at any time that sells Maybelline Color Tattoos. Okay, so it's a good way to show this some love. And then for this liner, I've got a couple of shades you can use because, again, the quad that I wore back in the day, this liner shade was much darker than it is now. So the options I would show you are much darker because that's what I remember. The first one that you could pair in is from your Urban Decay 15th Anniversary palette in the color MIA. It's a more intense mahogany. It's absolutely beautiful. This is what I would wear with these other 3 dupes. Okay, so this is MIA from 15th Anniversary palette. The other thing that you could pick is from your Stila in the light palette in the color, no, in the No palette, pardon me, in the color Driftwood. Let me pull it out real quick. Some of these are stuck in there pretty well. But in the color Driftwood, if you have the Stila in the No, which is that matte palette that came in the, I want to say it's blue packaging, but that's Driftwood. It's pretty much close spot on. The other thing that you can pick is Stila in the Light in Sandstone. Let me just show you. I've got all of my Stila shadows are depotted, so it can be kind of a nuisance to get them out of here. You can use Stila's in the Light palette in Sandstone, which is this beautiful shade, or you could use this one down here. And the last one you could use, bring out your Lorac Pro Palette again. See, your Lorac Pro Palette can go in with a lot of these drugstore dupes. The color I would choose out of here is Espresso. Beautiful, beautiful shade. Okay? You can use this as a liner, you can use it in your outer V, you can use it as a crease color. But again, like your higher end palettes, your Lorac Pro is gonna multitask with a lot of these things. So Espresso from that. Now, if you want a shadow base for your brown shade, you can either pull out the Rich Mahogany shade. This was a limited edition color tattoo, I believe, in the fall last year. Really intense cocoa brown. I will link to an Amazon seller who prices it below $7, so it's affordable. So that's Rich Mahogany. If you don't want to buy any more color tattoos, you want to use what you have, you can also bring out Bad to the Bronze, or no wait, where is it? I have so many color tattoos out here, but Bad to the Bronze, that would be beautiful just to pair that cocoa shade over. Or if you have this too, you could do Tough as Taupe if you want more of a matte look under it, since this is very grayish brown. Or technically you could use, where's the other one? Gold Shimmer. It's more of a sparkly, but it's like putting smog under that cocoa color if you have Urban Decay. You can make it look very brown. So this is Gold Shimmer. Okay? So there we go with our very wearable designer chocolates quad. Hope you guys enjoyed shaking that up. Thank you so much for watching today, and perhaps that'll get you inspired to continue your project pans, or start one if you haven't. Come on and join me in Pan That Palette Challenge, and part 2 will be uploaded next, so go on and stay tuned for that if you have not checked it out. And I'm keeping the Shop That Stash coming. So thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you next time. Bye.